Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goin Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we have a very interesting video for you guys, as we're going to be going over the Stanley Cup odds as of this little COVID break coming into the end of 2021. What are the odds of teams winning the Stanley Cup? We are going to go over every team in the NHL, including your team. We'll be going over all of those in today's video. So, it may surprise you who is number one. It may surprise you who is last. Probably not. Never mind. Some teams already have a 0% chance of winning the Stanley Cup, which I found fascinating. But we'll be going over that. We'll go over all those teams, and I'll give you guys this graph up here for you guys. So, this is pretty interesting, and in terms of, it kind of goes off of maybe expectations from the preseason, maybe the way the team has been playing here over the past, really through the month of December, and all of that kind of factors into this. So, at the bottom, the teams that have absolutely no damn chance of making the playoffs, there are four teams in that category. The Montreal Canadiens, the Arizona Coyotes, the Seattle Kraken, and the New Jersey Devils. So those four teams have legitimately no chance of making the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, let's watch in, the springtime, see if any of them maybe sneak in there, but it is literally a 0% chance. Like, it is 0.00001 to the point where, it's they're not even considering it a chance for them to make the playoffs. So, I did find that interesting. You can see also at the bottom of this graph, you have Buffalo, Ottawa, Columbus, Philly. San Jose was surprising because they actually had a pretty good start to the year. Obviously, things have gone sideways for them, and they're not projecting a big future here throughout the rest of the way for the Sharks. The Islanders, considering how bad they've been, I mean, look how that's affected them. A team that has gone to the Stanley Cup, the semifinals, the Eastern Conference Final, the past two seasons, has less than a 0.5% chance, less than half of a 1% chance of making the playoffs. There we go. I think I got that one. So really small odds there. This is an interesting one too. The Oilers. They have the Oilers at a 1.1% chance of winning the Stanley Cup. I apologize, not making the playoffs. I said that in the beginning of the video. They have them with a 1% chance of winning the Stanley Cup, which I found interesting because they actually had a very hot start to the season. Here's another team. So considering Tampa Bay is trying to go for their third straight Stanley Cup, the odds are giving them a 2.6% chance, which I found very interesting. And right above Tampa, at a 4% chance of winning the Cup, is the Anaheim Ducks. And I thought that was interesting because the Ducks haven't been in the playoffs the past couple years. It's been a little bit of a dry spell for the team out in Anaheim. And I thought it was interesting that they had a 4% chance, higher than the Tampa Bay Lightning. So all the teams we're talking about here, from here on out, have a better chance than Tampa, trying to go for a three-peat to win the Stanley Cup, which, again, I found quite interesting. Now, another team I found interesting on this list is the Carolina Hurricanes being all the way down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are given the 8th best chance of winning the Stanley Cup. They have dominated the Metropolitan Division through the first part of the season. They had that crazy winning streak to start the season. They had the longest, they were the last team to register their first loss in the NHL. So it was kind of weird to see them at 8 with a 6.4% chance at winning the Stanley Cup at this point. Another team that is actually fairly high up that I didn't expect as well, Nashville, Pittsburgh, Washington, and Calgary. All four of those teams are in the top 7. And if you told me in the beginning of the season they would be there, I'd kind of scoff at you. I'd say, yeah, right. And when pigs fly, you could tell me that. I saw no way any of those teams would be in the mix. Maybe Pittsburgh, maybe Washington, but Calgary, Nashville, I thought they were on their decline this year. Obviously, that's not the case because they have done exceptionally well this season so far. And then the top 3, you have the Toronto Maple Leafs at an 8.1% chance of winning the Stanley Cup. Leaf fans and fans around the league will laugh at that because it always comes down to what are they going to do in the playoffs. They have not won a playoff round under the Kyle Dubas era. Well, a legitimate series. They couldn't even win their quote unquote series against Columbus in 2020, a best of 5, right? So again, it's one of those things. We'll see if the Leafs can get it done this year. It kind of just seems like they have to just prove it. It's enough to say it during the year, but they need to prove it. So I'm surprised they actually had this high of odds. But again, they have a very talented roster. We've seen this before, but it's just interesting to see them there. The Minnesota Wild, baby. We got 2 Central Division teams here at the top of the Stanley Cup odds, taking up almost 20% of the odds at 8.8% chance winning the Stanley Cup is Kirill Kaprizov's Minnesota Wild. Now, I found this fascinating because there were some questions going into the year. Would the Minnesota Wild be good enough? Could they win a Stanley Cup? The Minnesota Wild see themselves in a window. They signed Kevin Fiala to a 1-year contract. This is their window. Bill Guerin is kind of speeding up the rebuild in order to try and win it here with Kirill Kaprizov this season. And I think this is a great opportunity here for the Minnesota Wild in a division where it kind of looks like there's a changing of the guard. We aren't sure where Winnipeg is. The Blackhawks obviously aren't there yet, but they've shown some improvements. And then what about some of these other teams? And really, it is the Colorado Avalanche, which are the number 1 odds to win the Stanley Cup in 2022 at a 10.9% chance. I think the Avalanche are another example of a team that really struggled out of the gate. They did not start the season off very great. And until Nathan MacKinnon came back, they had a lot of injuries throughout the way, but mainly when MacKinnon came back, that's where this team kind of turned on the switch. And we saw the Colorado Avalanche become the team that we expected them to be really throughout all of the offseason. At the end of last year, once the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Cup in 2021, right after they won the Cup, they did a prediction, and they had the Colorado Avalanche as the best odds of winning the Cup this year. And at this point, going into 2022, the Colorado Avalanche still hold that tag, despite a slow start, a little bit of adversity in the offseason, losing some depth, losing their goaltending group. I think that the Avalanche, despite losing Grubauer, despite losing some of those depth players, via the expansion draft and just not being able to keep Grubauer and all of that stuff, they have weathered the storm pretty well and still sit at the top of the NHL rankings. So this is all 32 NHL teams, and this is just a rundown right now. Again, this is no indication truly of who's going to win the Cup. I mean, the fact that the Buffalo Sabres still have a 0.1% chance to win the Stanley Cup, they could still win the Cup. There's no guarantee either way, but more likely than not, we will not see that. But still, I thought it was interesting, and I figured I'd share that with you guys in today's video. So guys, that is it for today. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, more videos just like this one, you guys know what to do. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.